explain you what is an array, why should we use it, and what is its use. And I will make it simple by making a very simple 2D game so you understand this thing in the real world use. What we have here, I have a mobile game like I went to then switch to the Android platform. Here's a platform on which this player, this cube lands. If I play it now, like this has the colliders and this is a rigid body. This lands on it. Now, what we want this to jump, and by using a variable, it. Wait, let me just do it. Here's a player, and I attached a script like we when we want to give the functionality to the game, like how we want, then we have to use the scripts. Okay, so to this player, I attach the script by creating it here, like right click and this then C sharp script, and then attached that to the player and open it inside the code editor, that is VS Code. Now what is a script? A script is a file that contains two things. One is data, and the second thing is the functionality, where data is processed, where functions happen with the data that we provide. Those are the variables, arrays, and all those things. Now what we want, when I tap on the screen of this is a mobile game. When I tap on this things z no y-axis value should change. What is y-axis? This transform, this thing should change. How that will change? How we will go to the script inside update function. Do not get confused. I will remove the start function so it's not confusing for you. Just this function, the update function. Update function is the function that is called every frame. I mean, this keeps on repeating. Just remember that thing. It keeps on repeating. That thing happens on the repeat. If there's a condition, I mean, we are putting in condition. If we touch, how we touch, mean how Unity understands touch. That means input dot get pu button down. I'm not making it up. It is all system built Unity given. Okay, am I doing everything right? Okay, now what we want to do, if we touch, we want to access the transform that I just was talking about. Transform dot, we will access this thing, translate. Now this translate takes three arguments, mean three axes. On the x-axis, what we want to do, we want to do nothing, so it could be 0. On y-axis, your head to your feet, that is the y-axis. What we want to do, we want to jump by an amount of 2. It could be any amount, but I just put 2. Okay, now let's come back, save, and come back to the script and play it. Play it by pressing Command P or Control P or just clicking on this button. Now if I play this game, this will fall down, and if I tap on the screen, this will jump by an amount of 2. I mean, that is the value we have given. Let me maybe reduce it, maybe 0.2. Then we have to put an F because this is a float number, means it is like a portion. It is not a full number, not 1 2 3 4 5, but it is 1.2 4.2, like that. Okay, but 0.2 doesn't make sense to us. It makes sense to the computer, but it doesn't make sense to the normal user like me. So what we do, we create a variable. Either we create that variable over here, like float jump value, and give it a value of 0.2f. Now a variable is created, and instead of using 0.2f, we will use jump value. I mean, it still means 0.2 to the computer, but to us it means jump value. There is a number that, there is a name that has a value. I mean, it makes sense. It makes things easy for us. Okay, now I will come back to the computer, to the editor. Now this will still jump by 0.2f, but it is a single value. Okay, let me repeat that. What's happening? It's jumping by a very small amount, but I want this to vary. I mean, I want, sometimes when I click it should be a big jump, sometimes when I click it should be a small jump. What we will do, either we create a lot of variables. I mean, let's duplicate this. I mean, I could create these variables over here also if we want to use those variables in other functions as well. If but in this script we are using these variables inside this update function, so I am creating these here. There is no problem in creating that. I could just go above there. Let's do that. I mean, do not want to confuse you. This is the data area where we put the data variables and all those things, and this is functionality where functions happen, where the data is processed. Okay, jump value 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, now if we want to change the jump, maybe make it 8, make it 6, make it a full number, maybe 2, make it 5, like that, and we come here and change it to different values like 1 when we want to change the jump. But that makes things very tough for us. So what we do, we create another third type of variable, that is an array. I mean, that's an array. Array means a variable that contains more than one value, that can contain or contains. So how we create an array? If we want to create an array of type, first we have to put the type like for a variable, then we put these things. Now here is an array. We have to give it a name, jump values. Jump values. Am I using this one anywhere? No, I'm not using. So jump values is a new array. Now we have to give it some values. We can give it over here, 0.1f comma 0.3f. I mean, it could be anything, 0.4f comma 2f. I mean, there's no problem in writing f. That's a good practice, in fact. Okay, now an array is created. Instead of writing so many variables, I mean, these values could be here. So we remove them because that is not good programming. Now we have an array. The name of the array is jump values. How we are going to use this? Instead of writing that variable name we created, we remove that also. What we will write here, we will put something like a random, because we want to jump on random numbers, random values. I mean, I do not want to jump on just single value. So what we will do, we'll use that array jump values, put this thing and write 0. 0 means the number where the array begins. I mean, it begins at 0. There is no question about it. Okay. Okay, and then and ends at what? Jump values. How long is this array? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can put 5 here, but if we change this number like 5, not like that, inside this 5f, there's no need to write f instead of a full number, but no problem, I'm writing. Now if I write 4, I mean, how many numbers are this? 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There will be a problem because the length of array is bigger than this. So what we write, just length. It will deal with this. Now if I come back, the jump on y-axis will be between this number and this number randomly. Okay, so we do not have to worry about selecting a particular number. Come here. Play the game by pressing Command P or Control P. Initially the jump was like one value. Now you see it's different values. Every time it's a different value. It's not the same jump, same value every time. I mean, it varies. Sometimes it's the same, sometimes it's different. So that is what an array do. It's a kind of variable that takes multiple values. Hope this is making sense to you. If it is not making sense to you, you ask me questions. I mean, for a beginner, these things are a bit tough. I know. I will just remove these things if these are confusing you. This should be making some sense to you. Array is something like we made a very simple game, then we used an array. How we will use an array in the simplest game? So what we did, we made the cube jump by taking some values from array. By using an array, I mean, We took an array, gave it some values to jump on the y-axis, and then we use them randomly from the zero element to the last element. So that's how we use an array. I mean, arrays could be like anything. We could have like a number of cars on in our game, and then we use those cars randomly, guns. I mean, this is an amazing thing to work on. So do ask me questions, and if you're liking this stuff, give me a like. Thank you. Have a great day.